Okay, hello everybody. This is actually my first video. Today's video is going to be about factorization. So we're going to look at factorizing simple expressions. So let's get started. Okay, so before I get into algebraic expression, let me just go through factors. I'm going to use numbers, so no letters as yet. Okay, so let's say for instance we have 6, right? And as we all should know, 6 could be written as a product. Let's say 2 times 3. Also, we could write 6 as 6 times 1. Both of these results in 6. Okay, now the 2 and the 3 are what we call factors. Likewise, the 6 and the 1. Meaning, when you multiply the 2 and the 3, you get 6. So essentially, factors of a number are what you would multiply together to get the number. So let's do another example. For instance, we have 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Also, we could have 8 times 1, which is also 8. Those are just simple examples. So when we look at algebraic expressions, we would use the same principle, right? Okay, so let's say we have AB, right? That is, we know that means A times B. So the factors of this expression would be A and B. A times B gives you AB. Now let's up the ante a bit. So let's say we have A plus AB. Now, looking at this, what we want to think about is, what two factors now can I multiply to get the expression A plus AB? Now, what we'll have to do first is look what's common to both terms in the expression. So here we have the A in this term, and here we also have A in this term. So that means we can factor out an A since it is common to both terms in the expression. So how we do that, we would just write down the A and let's open a bracket and close the bracket. Okay, so now the goal is to find what we would multiply by A to get back the first term, which is A right there. And if you haven't guessed it before, that's just 1. A times 1 gives you A. And remember that there's a plus sign here, so you would maintain the plus sign. Now the next goal is to find what you would multiply A by in order to get AB. And if you can recall from up here, right, if you multiply A times B, you get AB. So simply, we know that a B should be here because you multiply A by B to get AB. So now this is how you would factorize a simple expression such as this. Okay, we can take this a step further. let's say we have AC plus ABC, right? And of course you can see that it's similar to that. All I did was multiply this term A by C and multiplied this term AB by C also, right? So in order to factorize this, we would use the same principle. First we would look at what's common to both terms, and if you look closely you would realize that we have an AC there and we also have A and a C there, and it's multiplication, so ABC is the same as saying ACB or CBA or BCA, right? So we know that AC is common to both terms, so what we do now is just write down the AC, and of course you open the bracket, right? So the question you would ask yourself is, what would I multiply AC by in order to get back AC? And that would just be 1, simply put. And remember that the sign here was a plus, so you would maintain your plus sign. And of course there are going to be times where this keeping the plus sign might vary, but for now let's just stick to the basics, right? So now the next goal is to find what you would multiply AC by in order to get back ABC. And if you haven't guessed it before, that's just B, right? AC times 1 gives you AC, check, and AC times positive B gives you ABC. So we have successfully factorized this expression, AC plus ABC, right? And now let's take it a bit further, right? What if you had, let's say, M n minus M B, right? And we are to factorize this. So principle remains the same. What you do first is look which term is common to both of these terms. That's M and the M right there, so we know that M is common. So you write down the M, and of course you open your brackets. Now the goal is to find what you would multiply by M to get back Mn, and what you would multiply by to get back negative MB. So if you look closely, you realize that you just multiply by an N to get Mn, and you multiply by a negative B. Again, you realize you maintain the sign. You multiply by a negative B in order to get back your negative MB. So if we should expand this bracket, it would be M times N, which gives you back your Mn, and M times B, negative B, which gives you back your negative MB. So we have successfully factorized another expression, and that's just the basics when factorizing expressions. soon we'll move on to let's quadratic expressions, and that is definitely not difficult, but some people may find it difficult in the beginning, but we will work through it, no problem. Okay, so for now let's just erase the top here, and we'll try and do maybe 2-3 more examples. Now let me just clear the whole screen. Okay, cool. Alright, so we have just did some simple problems, so let's dive into our next problem. Alright, so let's say we have 2x plus ax. Let's keep it really simple, right? And we're supposed to factorize that. Cool. So at first, if you remember from the previous examples, you look what term is common to both of these terms, the 2x and the ax, and of course you can see that we have an x in both of the terms, so the x is common. You write down the x, open your brackets. Then next step is you look and see what you multiply by x to get back 2x, and what you multiply by x to get the ax back right here. So first you can see that you would multiply x by 2 to get 2x, so you just write down the 2, maintain your plus sign. Now if you look, you can see that you multiply x by an a in order to get ax. So this problem, this example is finished. We have successfully factorized it. QED. Alright, we can do another example. Alright, so let's say we have 3x plus 6x squared. Alright, great. Now with this problem, same principle. You look what is common to both terms, and you can clearly see that an x is common to both terms because an x is present in both terms. So yes, we can write down the x, but also we should make note of the fact that we have a 3 here and a 6 there, and if you can recall from the first part of the video, 3 is a factor of 6, so of course a 3 is common to both of these terms, so we can write the 3 down there. And just to make that a bit clearer, if you're still not clear, remember that 6 is equal to 2 times 3, so therefore 3 is a factor of 6, and also from here 3 is a factor of 3, right? So 3 is common to both terms also, along with the x, so you write down your 3x there. And now you just find whatever term you would multiply 3x by to get back 3x, and that is just 1. Maintain your plus sign. Now we need to find what we would multiply 3x by to get 6x squared. So now we know that from here you can see that you would multiply the 3 by a 2 in order to get the 6, right? So you can write the 2 down here, and now for the x squared you would have to multiply the x from the 3x, from this 3x. We might have to multiply the x by another x, so x times x gives you x squared. So you'd have to have an x there also. So 3x times a 2x gives you 6x, and we could write that down to verify. 3x times 2x, right? And as you should know, you would multiply the constant terms, the 3 and the 2. You would multiply the 3 by the 2 times x times x. Trying very hard to differentiate the multiplication sign from my x. Okay, right, so 3 times 2, as we know, that's 6, and that is being multiplied by an x times x, and as we should know, x times x is x squared, so that's 6x squared. Alright, so if we should expand this bracket, we will get back 3x plus 6x squared. 3x times 1 gives us 3x, check, and 3x times 2x gives us 6x squared. Right, so I'm going to end the video there for now on factorization. I'll continue another video where I will continue with some more examples of this, maybe 1 or 2 more examples, and then we dive into factorization by grouping and factorizing some quadratic expressions.